Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Leo energy. I'm going to get a top row of those of you who are harnessing high vibrational Leo energy, coming from the energy of love, hope, and faith, and belief that your dreams can come true, and you're willing to put in the work and effort to keep working on it every day. And then I'm going to do a second row of people who kind of are rejecting their Leo energy, positive Leo energy, so they might have rejected you. Um, they might be people who try to present themselves as being more about being in the spotlight and having the attention on them and trying to present a front that they're being strong, but they're really kind of coming more from their fears and their insecurities. And maybe because Leo energy, it might be a little more pride and ego. So, there's a possibility with you guys that in the past you thought, you were in a relationship where there was equal give and take. And that was the type of relationship you were dreaming of and working on a foundation with that. But somebody was maybe sneaky and manipulative and deceptive. And they no longer, they kind of lost sight of the truth. And they moved away. But you might be moving forward with the energy of love. You could have been in a foundation and you needed to figure out a way to strategize to move away from it because if the other person was being deceptive and manipulative and maybe had an energy about them of wanting to win at all costs, you wanted to move away from that. So let's take a look at the Six of Pentacle Foundation, where you dreamed of a foundation of working together with others where there was equal give and take in a relationship. Ooh, yeah. You could have been in a partnership where somebody got into toxic energy because they had regrets from the past pain and wounding that they hadn't worked through. And so they turned their back on their willingness to put in work and effort to move forward in a creative, inspiring way. And instead they were deceptive and manipulative about having equal give and take in the relationship. So with the Capricorn Devil card there, um, they're focused, they have regrets about toxic energy that prevents them from aligning with the energy of love within themselves. So, the Capricorn energy can be greed, selfishness, materialism. It can be about being controlling, possessive, jealous, selfish. And because of those reasons that they maybe experienced in their past, um, they were still focused on that and it maybe kept them in that energy. And um, you were willing to put in the work and effort to deal with past regrets, to put in the work and effort to move forward in a positive manner, but the other person was not. Yep, they had an energy about them of win at all costs. So that's an energy, they could have just had mental conflict, about putting in work and effort and have victory and success in their life based on their past wounding that they had. And so that can make people kind of want to treat their partner like they think that, they're going to get hurt in a relationship. So they almost treat their partner like somebody, like that they're defensive of, almost like you're an enemy. I'm so afraid you could hurt me and leave me and abandon me, and I'll still be in that energy of regret based on, things past pain I experienced. And they're so afraid of being in that, they kind of look at relationships as a competitor that they have to defeat because they're sure one of you is going to be left in regret and they don't want it to be them, so they can be deceptive and manipulative. What is the Seven of Swords? So, well, maybe possibly in a relationship with you, it could have seemed like they emotionally walked away. Oops. And they walked away maybe trying to look strong. And they maybe went to just go emotionally indulge themselves. Something about the devil card too can be about codependency, where you're codependent on other people to make you feel emotionally stable, to make you feel happy, because if they're not coming from that positive energy and treat themselves as someone that they love and care for and are kind to and gentle with and compassionate and forgiving to, if they don't do that within themselves, they're really coming from a painful position. And so they really depend on other people to make them feel that way, to make them feel loved and needed and all that stuff. And someone like that is manipulative and deceptive in relationships, because they know they're not coming, that they know they feel kind of desperate and that they're needing and they're codependent on you. And if you were somebody who was willing to walk away from things and the old ways of thinking and perceiving about yourself and old ways of being, in order to be emotionally brave and confident, that kind of causes them concern, because they're afraid you're going to leave them one day, and they're not doing the work and effort to get to that place themselves, to walk away from the old ways of thinking and believing and perceiving about themselves and their self-limiting beliefs, to become strong themselves. So they kind of strategize how to be able to move away. What is the Six of Swords? They could have been more materialistically focused, and because of that, they could have communicated to get involved with something. Maybe somebody offered them a new love opportunity for them to move forward in a way that it's more about money, and that way they don't really have to deal with, it's like if I'm financially stable and abundant and look successful and image, reputation, status, and stuff like that, then they don't really have to deal with their emotions. They're hoping maybe to get in a relationship that's more transactional. I give you this, you give me that, and we don't really have to deal with emotions. You, on the other hand, moved away from their kind of negative energy, and you did take stable, abundant action forward and accepted, like from the universe, that you can move forward in the energy of love. It causes you some inner conflict that this person was manipulative and deceptive and walked away, but you're going to deal with that inner conflict, and you're going to move to calmer emotional thoughts and expand your conscious awareness of how you perceive yourself and others in the world. And you are going to move forward in love. You're going to face the future. You know your truth. Emotionally, you're willing to speak your truth, and you want to move forward, and you want to be aligned with the Libra energy, which is about, being just and fair in your life. You could have dealt with a Libra before who had a skewed sense of what was fair and just. And if not, that other person's sense of what was fair and just was skewed, and they decided to backstab themselves emotionally, and so they backstabbed you emotionally. And you think it's fair and just to put an end to that type of person who just is up in stress and anxiety about coming together in a healthy, positive relationship. They get caught up in their fears and insecurities. They're so afraid that people are going to be manipulative and that they're going to be the one who ends up in a third-party relationship, so they go get in a third-party relationship and create an illusion that they're putting in the hard work and effort to heal and to see their dreams come into reality. But really, they aren't putting in work and effort to heal. They're hoping that their dreams will come into reality by taking foolish risks and juggling people, by being forceful and controlling in their relationships. But you are going to use all these energies in a positive manner. You are putting in the work and effort to heal, to see your dreams come into reality. You're willing to take bold, confident, having trust and faith in the universe, willing to take a risk, and you're going to turn your back on people like that, and instead you're going to find your own balance again. You are willing to take bold and confident action instead of trying to be forceful and toxic with people in your relationships. You're going to take bold, confident action because you want to come together with people in joy and celebration where there's emotional wish fulfillment. The other person gets in relationships to emotionally indulge himself because they're codependent on others. Okay, let's go down to the people who reject positive Leo energy. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like I called you guys a different zodiac sign, but if I did, that means something. Maybe it was the other zodiac type sign that you were dealing with. But let's go down to the other person. They took swift action to try to be creative in a relationship with you if you were dealing with someone that was was shadowy in their Leo energy, because they were trying to balance out their emotions about the fact that they're deceptive and manipulative, but they're in denial of the truth of that. And they're in denial that it was them who moved away because they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. And so they make a decision that I'm going to move away, and instead of seeing things from the bigger picture and have hope, faith, and belief there's healing, I'm just going to try to do something that's going to make me look like the shining star, like I've had victory, and they're going to go after whatever it is that kind of drives them. If that's money or materialism, that's what they're going to go for and try to be successful in that. But they're coming from a selfish perspective, and they could be stubborn and in pride and ego, unwilling to see things from anyone else's perspective because they're kind of a slave to what drives them. And so they take immature action, more coming from their mind than their heart, maybe kind of like an authoritarian and kind of emotionally cold and distant. And they don't want to bring down their old foundations and ways of being. They don't want to say the truth and fight for the truth. Okay, so tell us about this new beginning. They could have had somebody, the people in shadowy Leo energy, they could have been taking action in a relationship that was, well, you might have thought it was fair and just. They maybe, because they have negative energy, maybe kind of viewed it as more transactional. And when you dreamed of moving forward in a positive manner, they decided to take creative action. It is possible that somebody could have communicated to them and offered them something that appealed to their, more base nature. So they made a decision that they were going to kind of be a slave to what drives them. Part of that is they're wanting to win at all costs energy. If somebody's going to get hurt and left, it's going to be you who is hurt and left. If they did get into a new beginning, they could have taken action, and they are giving it a lot of work and effort to try to balance out their energies, to their emotions, to come to peace within themselves so they can move forward, and hopefully that they'd be willing to learn the lessons of the past and have hope, faith, and belief. But, yeah, what this person did is they were kind of looking to repeat past patterns of the past. And instead of listening to their higher intuition and be willing to take emotionally bold, confident action, they put an end to, they didn't want the truth to come out about being deceptive and manipulative, about moving forward. They had acted like they're willing to move forward in this new beginning, but really, they know they backstabbed you and they were not wanting to speak the truth about their deception. So now they're being emotionally creative to try to put an end to that truth coming out. And they are harnessing shadowy Libra Taurus energy, where it's kind of more about themselves and indulging themselves, maybe surrounding themselves with it being all about materialism. And they're trying to balance out their emotions about, you know, they're kind of in denial and they don't even probably realize to a degree that they don't see the truth. That, you know, if you want to have the wonderful, abundant life, you have to plant seeds of love and kindness and generosity and openness and honesty. And they're the things that drive them, whatever that can be: fear, insecurity, pride, ego, um, materialism. Um, they just can't face that truth yet. So they're trying to balance out their emotions about that things are hidden about how and why they became single. And it was because that they wanted to make a love offer to somebody else who was maybe single and wealthy. And so they ignored an offer to move forward in a positive, loving energy. And they decided to get in a third party, return to somebody else in their past because they still have issues they need to work out. What are they in denial about? Or what's the Two of Swords about? This person could have been dealing with somebody who offered to take creative, inspired action to move forward, someone who is in positive Leo energy that was coming from an energy of love and wanted to move forward and put an end to being defensive and manipulative and deceptive. But this person, so far, I don't know, they're just not willing to probably even see the truth that they do that. So they're kind of in denial and not wanting to see the truth that it's that they could have been in a loving relationship in the energy of the sun that had life-giving energy to it, you know, or people are authentically themselves, and maybe that's a problem that this person has because they have things hidden beneath the surface of their emotions that they don't want to look at yet. And so because of that, they walked away and they emotionally decided they would just emotionally indulge themselves and do what made them happy because that is the kind of belief system that they have and that they operate from. And so they put an end to positive things because they're not willing to transform. So they could come more from a black and white way of thinking and maybe being controlling and being intimidating. And so where did they move away to? They didn't want, they have inner conflict between like the two sides of their nature. They might be somebody who presents himself as like a king of pentacles, like, look at me, I'm stable and abundant. But really inside they don't. It's like they, you know, we've all got fears and insecurities and greed and selfishness to us. But it's like they don't maybe want people to know that they have that. But it might end up being illuminated that they did walk away for this manner. The universe might somehow make it be illuminated that they weren't seeing the truth of a situation. So they moved away in pride and ego and trying to prove a point. And it could be that the thing that they don't want to see things from any other perspective. They want to just be focused on money, stability, and security. So they made a decision that that's what their wish and dream is to not see things from anybody else's perspective because they're overwhelmed by the things that they want in life. So they maybe take immature action. They move away from people who are willing to stand in their power and their truth and speak the truth. And because of that, a major foundation that they had been working on comes down. And this person isn't willing to do that yet. So there we go, Leo energy. I think that kind of covered the different ways people could be harnessing their Leo energy right now. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.